Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the most enigmatic and powerful force in the Walking Dead universe, the Civic Republic Military, or the CRM. For years, they've been the bogeyman lurking in the shadows, pulling strings from behind the curtain. We've seen their helicopters, their soldiers in black tactical gear. And we know they have a classification system for survivors, AS and BS. But with the ones who live finally peeling back the layers, a bigger question emerges for all of us fans. If you were dropped into this world, what would your role be within the CRM? Where would you fit in? Let's start with the most obvious and perhaps the most brutal role, the soldier. These are the frontline enforcers. The individuals like Rick Grimes and Thorne who are captured and conscripted. To be a soldier in the CRM, you need more than just strength. You need resilience, a stomach for morally grey actions, and the ability to follow orders without question. Think about it. You'd be sent on missions to secure resources, eliminate threats both Walker and human, and maintain the strict secrecy of the Civic Republic. The training is intense, designed to break you down and build you back up as a loyal asset, but it's a double-edged sword. You get security, 3 meals a day, and a purpose, but you sacrifice your freedom and potentially your soul. Are you the type who could put on the uniform and do what needs to be done, believing it's for the greater good, even when it feels wrong? Or would you be constantly looking for a way out, like Rick? No, not everyone is a fighter. The CRM is the last bastion of civilization, which means it needs more than just soldiers to function. This brings us to the civilian roles within the hidden city of Philadelphia. We're talking about doctors, engineers, scientists, agricultural experts, and technicians. These are the BS, the everyday people who are valuable not for their leadership potential, but for their skills. If you were a teacher before the world fell, you'd be educating the next generation. If you were an electrician, you'd be keeping the lights on. This is, for many, the ideal scenario. You get to live in a secure, thriving city with a population of over 200,000 people, shielded from the horrors of the outside world. You contribute, you have a life that resembles the old world, and you raise a family in safety. The catch: you're under constant surveillance, and your knowledge of the outside world is heavily censored. You live in a gilded cage, blissfully unaware of the true cost of your security. Would you be content with this trade-off? The comfort of ignorance for the price of true freedom. Then we have the intelligence and leadership echelon. This is where people like Jodis and, of course, Major General Beale operate. To be in this circle, you need to be exceptionally cunning, ruthless, and a true believer in the CRM's mission. You're not just following orders, you're making the hard decisions. You're the one deciding which communities are a threat, who gets classified as an A or a B, and who needs to be eliminated for the sake of the master plan. Jadis, for example, climbed the ranks by being a master manipulator, trading people for a position of power. It's a world of politics, secrets, and a level of moral compromise that would crush most people. You'd have access to all the information. You'd hold immense power, but you'd also carry the weight of atrocities committed in the name of survival. Are you the type of person who could look at a thriving community like Omaha and sign off on its destruction, genuinely believing it was a necessary sacrifice? This role requires a specific kind of cold, calculating logic, a belief that the ends truly justify any means. Let's not forget the most terrifying role, being an A. We now know that A's are leaders, strong-willed individuals who are too independent to be controlled. The CRM sees them as threats. Instead of being integrated, A's are taken to secret research facilities. What happens there? They become test subjects for scientists studying the Walker virus. Their ultimate fate is to be bitten, studied, and then put down. It's a gruesome end for the very people who were likely the best at surviving in the first place. So, if you're a natural leader, someone who questions authority and inspires others, like Rick Grimes, the CRM wouldn't see you as an asset to be recruited, but as a problem to be neutralized. It's the ultimate paradox. The qualities that make you a hero in the world of The Walking Dead are the very same qualities that would get you killed by the CRM. This is the dark secret that underpins their entire society. Your strength becomes your death sentence. There's also another, less formal role, the dissident, the internal resistance. Within any totalitarian system, there are always those who see the cracks in the foundation. These are the people on the inside who know what's really going on and are working to expose it or bring it down. Think of the scientist who's horrified by the experiments on AS, or the soldier who can no longer justify the atrocities they've committed. This is arguably the most dangerous role of all. You're not just fighting walkers or external threats. You're fighting the very system that provides your food and shelter. You're surrounded by loyalists and spies. One wrong word, one suspicious action, and you could disappear without a trace. It requires immense bravery, stealth, and a willingness to risk everything for a principle. Would you be the one to quietly gather information, trying to find allies in the shadows, hoping to spark a revolution from within? Finally, let's consider the consignee. This is where Rick's journey began with the CRM. After being captured, you're not immediately made a soldier. You're put to work doing grueling manual labor on the outskirts, clearing walkers, growing crops, or fortifying walls. This is a testing ground. It's designed to break your spirit and assess your usefulness. Your life is monotonous and dangerous, and you're treated as completely expendable. Many don't survive this phase, but it's also where the CRM filters people. If you show blind obedience and diligence, you might be moved up to soldier training. If you show defiance, you're marked as an A. If you're just an average person with a useful skill, you might eventually be vetted for entry into the city as a B. How would you handle this? Would you keep your head down and work, hoping for a better life? Or would your instinct to fight back or escape put a target on your back from day one? So, the question remains, where do you fit in? Are you a soldier on the front lines? A content citizen in the gilded cage? A ruthless leader making impossible choices? A test subject marked for death? An internal rebel? Or a lowly consignee trying to survive day by day? The world of the CRM is a complex and brutal machine, and every gear has its place, whether willingly or not. It forces us to ask some tough questions about ourselves. What do we truly value? Security or freedom? The collective good or individual morality? Let me know in the comments below what role you think you'd end up in within the CRM. It's a fascinating thought experiment. Thanks so much for watching and for diving into this with me. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into our favorite fictional universes. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.